Moikka! Summer is here soon. Do you have a summer journal already? I don't have one yet, so let's get to it. I am starting with the base, and here I am using a pizza box. This cardstock is very handy to use. You can also use some cereal boxes, for example, or something like that. I am brushing some white gesso onto the cardstock, but this is optional. Next, choose a big fabric for the base and then some scraps to put on top of it. And here I am marking the corners of the journal so it is easier to plan the cover fabric layout. Here are the little pieces that I will be using today. Next, I am turning the excess fabric under the journal, and here I am using some clips so that the fabric will stay in place. And now just choose the places for your little fabric scraps. When the design is ready, you can attach the little pieces to the base fabric with some needles. And please be careful. At least for me, it took a couple of ouches and bad words, but I made it through. I am using a sewing machine to attach the pieces together, but you can of course do this by hand also. Here is the finished fabric. I added some closure ribbons at the same time. This step is optional, but I like to put in some embroidery to the little pieces. I think it looks whimsical and cute. Now that the sewing part is done, let's move on to the gluing. I am using a mixed media glue by Stamperia, but of course you can do this with a regular PVA glue. Just brush it onto the cardstock and then put the fabric on it. And now use the marks in the corners to show you the right place for the fabric. Once the fabric is glued onto the cover, just flip over the whole thing and then glue the insides. You can use some clips to help you with the gluing. And now let's move on to the fun part of the project: embellishments and decorations. Here you can use anything that you like. I am using ribbons, buttons. I made a paper flower for this cover, and then I drew some flowers, little flowers, and so on. If you have watched my channel before, you might have noticed the little characters from the northern woods that I like to draw. So I wanted this journal to represent that world. Kind of whimsical and cute stuff. So this will be a nice home for those little characters for the summer. I stamped some words to the cover that means a lot to me, and then I named this journal as Taika Tales because of just those characters and stories that I like to draw. Next, I am finalizing the embellishment with some decorative thing that I can't remember what this is in English, but you see here what this is. But maybe if you know what this is in English, please let me know. Actually, I don't even know what this is called in Finnish. Maybe paperiliitin? I don't know. But a nice little thingy. But let's move on to the insides of the journal. Let's put in some fabric and then 2 signatures for this journal. I use a couple of pieces of this thicker fabric and I wanted to put in some pockets too. How about that spring sunshine that comes through the window? Feels so nice, and I wish that it would melt the snow away. It was snowing again yesterday here in Finland, so officially the winter is still on, but I wish that the spring will come soon. And then the summer with a lot of light. Can't wait. And then little embellishments for the pockets with some lace. Next step, the signatures. I am using a regular A4 copy paper, 160 grams, so I am using a bit thicker copy paper because I will be doing some watercoloring and using some fabrics and all kinds of media, so I like these pages to be somewhat thicker. This A5 paper is a little bit too big for this journal cover, so I am taking a bit off, about 0.5 centimeter. I am using a 3-hole pamphlet stitching technique in this journal. Here I am making some marks for the signature holes, and I am using a craft pick to make the holes, but you can use a needle also. I am using a copy paper to mark the hole places, and now it's easier to transfer the markings to the signature. Next step is to make the holes for the signature and then take some embroidery yarn and attach the signatures to the cover. Start from the middle and go on from there. Many pages to be filled up with all kinds of lovely things. I love it that this is so bendy because this will be a thick one. As I said before, I will use some fabrics and all kinds of stuff in this, so there is room to grow. But now, thank you so much for watching, and I want to wish everyone a happy Easter, and until next time. Bye!